Hello everybody, welcome to another trading interview with one of our FTMO traders, and today we're having Marcus from Sulphur in Louisiana, USA. So hello Marcus, welcome.
Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you doing well?
Yes, sir. How about yourself?
Yeah, me too. All right, so guys, just for those of you who are maybe watching us for the first time, FTMO is a proprietary trading firm, and upon passing our evaluation process, you get to manage up to $200,000 on the FTMO account, from which you can then withdraw up to 90% of your profits. So FTMO account, actually, Marcus, when I was checking your records, I saw that you have passed the first ever FTMO challenge you bought. You passed it and you got the FTMO account.
hmm
All right, so I suppose there's a little bit of trading history, right, on you?
Yeah, a little bit. It kind of started like 2 years ago. Like we had a hurricane, and then kind of got bored sitting around. Then I came across Forex, and that's kind of when it all started.
Uh-huh. All right. So I assume you just started to learn some things on YouTube, on the internet, and then you opened your demo account with some broker.
Yeah, so I was studying from my mentor on YouTube at first before I bought his course. And so for a while I was only learning from YouTube and didn't really have like it made sense, but it didn't make full sense. Like not everything wasn't really like put together. So I ended up buying his course, and then everything kind of started to click together after that.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so just a few weeks after you found out about Forex, you said to yourself, okay, this is something I could give a shot, and you bought a mentorship course.
Yeah, it was probably like after like a few days, I was like, this is what I really want to do. And like I just seen like how like everybody making money and whatnot, and I was like, well, if they can do it, I mean I can do it too probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I just spent hours and hours studying every day.
All right. So, I saw that you've been trading a lot, like, I mean, pretty much the whole day. So, are you now a full-time trader, or do you have also a side job that you still do and you do
Yeah,
trading on the side?
yeah. So I still work a part-time job, but of so usually when I get off of work is usually when I'm looking to get into a trade. But as of right now, I'm not a full-time trader, but hopefully in the near future I will be.
All right, good. Now, could you just give a little introduction on yourself for the viewers? Like, who are you and what do you do?
So I grew up in Louisiana my whole life, born and raised there. Went to college for a year before I dropped out. Didn't really, like it. I went there for business, but it wasn't really teaching me what I felt like I really needed for like the real life. So kind of backed off of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really had no direction on what I really want to do. And then that's when I came across Forex. So that's kind of what I've been doing since.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that is currently your number one business field, I would
Yeah.
say. Uh-huh. All right. So after you've been trading on a demo account, you opened a live account, put some of your funds in there.
Yeah. I I actually opened up a live account like maybe a week after learning it. It was kind of stupid, but yeah, I to kind of get my psychology right so I could see what it kind of feels like to trade with real money instead of
Mm-hmm.
virtual money, I guess. So it kind of had its pros and cons with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I see. Well, I think you have a point because there is a lot of traders who spend time mastering their strategy on a demo account. They spend like even years on a demo account,
Yeah,
and when they find it profitable, they feel ready to open a live account, and all of a sudden they see the psychology is completely different when you're trading with
yeah,
real money.
it's way different. It's not the same. It's not the same effect that train on a live account has versus the demo.
All right. So, how did it go for for the first couple of weeks or months?
Not good. I mean, it was not good at all. It had its days, but it was just like I still didn't really know what I was doing. Like I didn't really know too much about technical analysis or like really anything about that. Like I knew the basics because I
Mm-hmm.
studied like baby pips, but other than that, it was just kind of like all over the place.
Okay, so you paid the price of every forex newbie. So you blew a
Yeah,
couple of live
yeah,
accounts.
yeah. So I definitely blew like a few live accounts.
Uh-huh. All right. So when or was there like a point at which things started to turn to the better side?
Um, I want to say like towards the end of last year when everything, kind of started to make more sense to me. It kind of just started to click. Yeah, I still wasn't like completely profitable, but it wasn't like, I was blowing account after account after account. It was like, I would make a little bit of money, then maybe lose a little bit, but it was kind of like break even.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you still were not getting the profits you would hope for.
Yeah, nah, it was like here and there. Like I might have a good week, but then I probably had a bad week right after that.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you mentioned the technical analysis. So are you a technical trader? And what technicals do you use in your trading?
I really only use like I'll use like support and resistance, psychological levels, trend lines, and the Fibonacci, and that's really about it.
Mm-hmm. So you're focusing more on the pure price action.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. So I saw that your probably your favorite instrument is gold. Is that right?
Uh, actually, no, it's really not.
It's not.
Yeah,
Wow.
no,
Okay.
yeah, no. It's just if it gives me a good setup, it like lately it's been I found better setups than compared to the other currencies. So I mean, whatever looks the best to me, that's what I'm trading for that day or
Mm-hmm.
week, the case may be.
Okay, but lately in the last couple of weeks, it's been
Yeah,
gold.
yeah. Last few weeks, it's definitely been gold.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Could you actually go more into details what it means if something looks good for you? Like, does it mean you can just read the candles better, or could you give us a little bit more details on that?
It's like, mm, so if like price is consolidating, or if I just don't have like a clear sense of like which direction price is going into, I just won't even trade it. Like if it's too choppy, just won't even look at it until it looks better. So I usually set alerts where I predict price might go to, and then if that alert gets hit, I'll go back to that pair or whatever the case may be, and then go with it from there.
Mm-hmm. So you're more looking for clear long-term trends.
Yeah,
Uh-huh. Okay, I saw that you're holding your positions overnight sometimes even.
yeah,
So you're a day trader slash swing trader.
yeah.
Uh,
I probably swing a little bit more now. I don't really kind of like getting in and out day by day, so I kind of swing a little bit more now.
okay. Has it been like this the whole time, even when you started?
No, actually, no. When I first started, I was trying to scout, and then didn't really like that. Didn't know how to do it. Then I got into actually like day trading, so get in for like a few hours and then get out by the end of the day before market closes. And then I liked it, but then as life goes on, you have other stuff to do. So I kind of got into swing trading a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I think this is actually common to a lot of people that are new to Forex, right? A lot of people who are new are trying to scalp because on a lower time frame you're seeing the price moves fast, right?
Yeah,
And it is so intimidating, right? To open a big position, a couple of tens of lots even,
yeah,
and then you can see that within just a few tens of seconds you can get a hefty profit. So yeah, it is something that I've seen a lot as well. That a lot of newbies are just starting on scalping and just trying to make that quick money. But actually, if you take a look how the professionals trade, like in the investment banks, it's not scalping; it's holding positions for weeks,
yeah,
even months. So I think this is a sort of a progress that is probably pretty common in the game.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Even like my mentor, he went from like day trading to actually swinging, and I didn't like it at first, but then I kind of felt more comfortable with it. And then with scalping, I just felt like I always find myself getting faked out more times than not.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of just moved away from that.
Okay. So you are currently trading on a $100,000 account, is that right?
Yes, sir.
All right. And the profit you've managed to reach, it was about 19,500, something like that.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I also saw that you decided to withdraw about half of your profits and keep the other half on the account. So why is that? We more often, I would say, we more often see that traders just withdraw everything.
Mhm.
There's not a lot of traders who would keep, half of the profit on the account. So why did you decide to do it like that?
To be, I really didn't need all that money for starters. It was just too much money for me to, take out at once. But it was more just to give me a cushion instead of if I had a bad week. So if I went on a losing streak, I'll still have that money in my account that I already made and not have to worry about, the maximum drawdown just in case it ever got to that point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you didn't feel like you need to withdraw all the profits and buy a new car or buy some fancy clothes or whatever.
Nah, the money I drew was, perfectly fine with me.
All right. Okay. All right. Here we are with the platform, and Marcus has prepared one trade for us, and it is on Aussie and US dollar. So I'm surprised it's not gold. So yeah, did you make some good trades on the Aussie pair as well?
Yeah, I actually do. I think as for currency pairs, AU is probably my favorite pair to trade. That's apart from gold.
Mm-hmm. Alrighty. So please go ahead and break it down for us. We'd like to see how you really work with the platform. How do you set up the entry? Pretty much the more the better. So go ahead.
All right, so for like this trade in particular, I go to the daily first to see, the overall direction, and I'm not really looking to, counter trend trade because I always find myself getting faked out more times than not. But so I went to the daily and I seen that price was in the overall downtrend, and then I went to the 4 hour and seeing that, this somewhat of a double top right here. So I expected price to go down, and then I want to say it closed. Yeah, so when the market opened back up, I figured price was gonna come back up and retest this major area of resistance right here. And then when I seen that, I placed a trade right here. Let's see, on this evening star right here. I had my stop loss right here and take profit way down here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I seen, and after seeing that, I seen, it was eventually or potentially a triple top. Placed that trade, unfortunately got stopped out of it. So waited another day, and then I have this trade currently running right now because I see that price can potentially get to this, this 6,400 psychological level. And I mean, it's I don't really, look at it like too much. I'm really just looking for price to get there, and I'll be out the trade.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I think
so are you starting with the top-down analysis every time when you want to open a trade?
come again.
Are you starting with the top-down analysis every time you getting into
Yeah,
a trade?
yeah. Every time I like to see what each candlestick on each time frame is telling me. So I'll usually look at the 4 hour for like confirmation,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll go down to like the 15 minute or 5 minute for like an entry.
Mm-hmm.
And then like also on this period, I seen an head and shoulder. So like when price got to like a little past this area of resistance, I was like, all right, price is most likely going to head down. And then I had my I don't have them on right now, but I usually use like an 8 and 14 EMA just for like an extra confirmation to get in the trade because I usually need like 3 to get in, but so I just had that one just as an extra just in case.
Mm-hmm. All right, okay. So, in a nutshell, you're looking for the classical patterns that we all know, and then you're just figuring out when exactly should you make the entry. But how do you decide when to exit a trade?
So if obviously if my trade hits this take profit, but if I see like price, like unfortunately, like with this trade right here, it's kind of unfortunate. I don't know if any news came out that night. but if I see price like breaking structure or anything, I'm usually looking to get out. Or if I see like an EMA crossover on the 4 hour, I'm probably going to get out the trade.
Mm-hmm. All right. And regarding the size of the position, I saw that you are trading quite moderately, entering one,
Mm.
two, three lots. So, are you actually calculating the profit in the percentage of the account?
Yeah, so I only risk like 1 to 2% per trade every trade I take. So I already, I calculate that before I get in the trade based on how wide my stop loss is.
Okay, so you calculate the risk and
Yeah.
the take profit, and according to that, you get the volume, the size of the position that you need to enter.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh. All right. Okay. So, are you also? I thought you mentioned that you're using Fibonacci as well, right?
Yeah, I use if I can find, it present. Like I had one for right here after I seen price come down and come back up. I had it right here as just to see if um price would bounce off of this level or not. And then, obviously it did. So I got in the trade, and I didn't put my take profit at the 27 extension just because I believed it would reach here to this this next psychological level. So
Mm-hmm. You're
so I
right.
kind of kind of just letting it play out right now.
And do you approach all the symbols the same way? So regardless whether you're trading on a commodity like gold or currency pair or an index like the US 30 or S&P 500, do you always keep on looking for the patterns?
Yeah.
And then starting with the top-down analysis, then looking for the pattern, and then figuring out the exact entry.
So for gold, I would say that I traded the same, but I kind of don't, just because it moves a lot faster than all the other currency pairs.
Mm-hmm.
So I do use Fibonacci, but I don't really use, psychological levels as much. Like I'll place a level where, price bounced off of before, like over here, for example, like I seen price was bouncing. So I was like, okay, so price obviously can't get past, this level of support. So I was actually in this trade and I wrote it up all the way up to this level. But as it's I would say it's one and the same, but not really.
Mm-hmm. All
But
right.
it's yeah, it's pretty
Um,
much the same.
so at what time of the day do you trade? So because I think I saw that you are trading pretty much all over the day, or do you have like a specific favorite session that you like to trade, like the London Open or the New York Open,
Yeah,
or yeah?
usually I'm trading around probably somewhere. I'm looking to get in trade somewhere between like 8 and 10 o'clock usually. But I mean, if the setup doesn't present itself, I'll usually wake up the next morning, see if I can find an entry or a better entry that I can get into.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another thing that we didn't touch upon really that much is psychology. Now, at the start of the video, we've been mentioning a little bit of your journey as a trader. So, how do you think the psychology part of your trading has evolved for the past couple of years?
Definitely a lot, man. Greed and fear what really, got me. It was really my downfall at first. I was always looking to, get a big home run play. I wanted every trade to, make a whole lot of money because I seen what other people were making. So I was like, well, I want to do that too. But it doesn't really work like that. You gotta, kind of play everything by your account size. And like even when I'm trading, every now and then I'll turn my charts, black to, just to get rid of like. So if I'm in a buy, I'll if I see one red, you don't really see a red candle, so it's just like, all black, and it's just, all one direction. So I usually find myself trading with the black candlesticks instead
Mm-hmm.
to get rid of, like, the fear of one candlestick, and then, I got to get out the trade because there's one candlestick or one red candlestick in a buy situation. So
Wow, okay. I think I'm seeing that for the first time. So you actually like to keep all the candles with the same color, so seeing a big red candle doesn't really mess up with your psychology.
Yeah, so all I see is black candles. It's like, I mean, I obviously know what color the candlestick probably is, but it's not like
Sure,
I'm
yeah.
worried about seeing one candle like, oh, I got to get out because price might reverse. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. Another thing that I'm also quite frequently asking the traders is that, do you think the development of your psychology has also been seen in other parts of your life? Because the psychology thing in trading is big. It's really one
yeah,
of the major key things that you need to control. And often I hear that traders, if they manage to master their trading psychology, it often helps them with other things in life as well. So, is this your case, or did you not see much of a change?
I did. I found myself being more calm and not so fearful when I get into the markets because like I said at first, every time I got in a trade, I'm always on my phone checking like, oh, am I losing the trade or am I profit? So I kind of found myself, not really worrying about it as much. Like if I place a trade when I go to sleep, I probably won't even look at it till later that day or when I wake up and just, kind of forget about it.
Okay, so do you now just open a trade and set the stop loss, set the take profit, and then just leave it like it is? Or do you keep on watching the trade and then just keep adjusting the take profit? For example, if there is a strong move, do you extend the take profit or just do you leave it like it is?
When my take profit said, it stays there. I used to do that, but I always end up losing the trade. So wherever I place my stop loss at or my take profit at, I usually place at where um where it makes the most sense, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm
Or
not gonna place it in the middle of nowhere. So like if when I'm placing my take profits, I'll place it at either a 27 extension on the Fibonacci, a psychological level, or like a previously wicked area.
Uh-huh. Okay. Now, another thing, the risk reward ratio. I saw that your risk reward ratio on the last FTMO account you had was about 2.5, 2.3, something like that. So pretty high.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've been maintaining for the couple of months or years, or is that something that is new to you, or have you always traded like this? Because there's virtually two different approaches you can take, either a high risk reward ratio, then you don't really have to care about win rate too much, or a high win rate, but then of course you need to risk more with every trade.
Yeah, so what I trade, I'm looking for at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio because you gotta lose two trades. If you lose two trades, all you gotta do is win once, and then you might be a little profitable or break even, whatever the case may be. So if it's less than a 1 to 2, I'm not looking to get in the trade at all.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right, and here in your econometrics, we can see that the balance curve that you have is quite steep. So I can see from the start you went in a little bit of drawdown.
Yeah.
But then you managed to get it back up. So could you just like describe briefly what was happening in there?
Honestly, I just had a really good week, to be honest. At first, obviously, kind of took a few losses. Then after that, it was kind of like I was getting a win. So I was only risking 1%, like I said before. I only risked 1% per trade, and then so I was only risking 1%. I went down a little bit, and then kind of took time to study and back test and see where I went wrong. And then I found myself winning more trades, and then so after I kind of went on a winning streak, I kind of was like, I want to say I got cocky, so I kind of risked 2% just to see if it was like just to test the waters a little bit. So I did risk 2% on a few trades, but it was never over 2%. Then kind of went on from there and made way more than what I thought I would.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I think this balance curve perfectly shows why the high risk reward system is so popular, right? Why so many traders do it like this way, because we can see there was quite a lot of losses from the start, but thanks to the high risk ratio, you didn't exceed the max loss. But
Yeah,
then when the winners came, the movement was really huge. You went from zero to about $24,000, And then again, there were some losses, but thanks to the fact that your risk reward ratio was so high, you didn't lose that much money.
Yeah.
So yeah, well done here. Okay, could you scroll a little bit down to so we can see the statistics that you managed to have? Yep, all the way down. All right, so statistics here. All right, yeah, here we see the risk reward, so 2.3, win rate exactly 50%. And yeah, but what I was mentioning was the statistics that are at the bottom, because I saw some interesting
Okay.
sites in there.
Let's see. Right here.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Well, so we can see that shorting was was what it meant for you. So why do you think, is this something that, do you think this is the roots are psychological that you just prefer the short, or was it just during this couple of weeks that the just markets went down, and that's why selling made you way more money than buying?
Yeah. It was just a bearish market. I tried to find a few, buy positions, but they kind of didn't work out. So I just stayed trading with the trend. Like they say, the trend is your best friend. So I just decided to only look for sales during that whole time frame.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And with the open time hour statistics, uh, yeah, I mean, we can see that you've been trading pretty much all over today, like during the night, in the afternoon, in the morning. So it seems that for the last couple of weeks, trading was really, it really kept you busy.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. Like, so like when I get off of work, I'm like going straight to my laptop, looking to get in a trade or whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm. Okay. How many hours a day do you usually spend trading? I mean, I understand that maybe the last week or two might have been a bit more busier than usual, but what is
Mhm.
your normal routine?
Um, Out of all day, I'll probably stay on the charts maybe at the most 2 hours, but that's throughout the entire day. Like I said, I'll place alerts, and I'm not really looking to stare at the charts all day. So like when that alert gets hit, I'll open like TradingView or MetaTrader to place a trade. But um yeah, I just kind of like don't want to stare at the charts because I feel like if you do, you'll find something that's that is not there.
Okay, that
Like,
you become biased with trading.
yeah.
Uh-huh. All right. Now let's just come back a couple of minutes. You were mentioning and you were showing to us that you're a technical trader, but
Mhm.
how about the fundamentals? Do you pay attention to the news?
A little bit. So on the weekends I'll go on Forex Factory and or the side of Trading View and see what news are coming out and how it's going to impact the currency pair that I'm trading.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
it's like, oh, I'm sorry.
No, no, it's fine. So you just
So,
like every weekend you just check what's coming up for the following week,
yes.
and just so you
Yeah.
know if there's some major kind of thing you should be watching out for.
Yeah. So like usually like I when NFP comes out, I usually don't trade around that. So I like to just know what fundamental announcements are coming out so I know how to trade accordingly.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you like to stay out of the major news.
Yeah, more times than not, yeah, I kind of like to stay away from it.
Okay, well, I guess you being a more of a swing trader, it makes more sense, right? Because news are more popular among scalpers, right? When there are big movements within a couple of seconds.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I definitely see why. Are you planning to, or this trading approach that you're having right now, that you're a swing trader, do you intend to keep it that way, or are you possibly thinking of trying different kind of approaches as well? Because you manage the progress from beginning at trying to scalp the markets. Now you're holding the positions for a day or two. Are you possibly thinking of maybe even extending the time when you're holding the position, and maybe holding the positions over the weekend as well for several days?
Um, Probably not. I don't really like holding over the weekends just because the market gap, and I don't really know what to expect or to happen over the weekend. So I tried it a few times just to kind of, test the waters, but I always find myself either getting stopped out or, getting wicked out by like a pip. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just hold it for like a week or something. And that's kind of just about it as of right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, the final part is here, and we're gonna be discussing your future and your plans. So, let's start it simple. What are your plans for the future?
So my plans are hopefully within the next year or two to hopefully become a full-time, day/swing trader, going from there and have that to fund, other businesses that I want to get into.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I saw that you have already started another FTMO challenge, and it's going
Mhm.
quite well for you. You're being profitable. So, are you planning to reach a bigger initial balance with FTMO?
Yes, yes, I actually am in the process of doing that right now.
Uh-huh. All right. So, your in a nutshell, your long-term plans are to make money from trading, become a full-time trader, and then you use the money for some other ventures, for some other businesses.
Correct, correct.
Uh-huh. Okay. Could you give us a little sneak peek on what kind of businesses we're talking about?
As of right now, I really want to get into real estate and invest in the properties. And that's kind of the only thing I have in mind right now. I'm still kind of, looking for other, streams of income to, to have Forex to fund that. But as of right now, I'm kind of really leaning more towards real estate.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So, what would be your advice to all the new traders out there that are maybe at a point where you were like 2 years ago when you opened up your first couple of live accounts and they all went down the drain?
Uh, it's really just don't let, fear and greed, take control of you. You gotta have a calm and collective mind when you open those charts up, because the market owes you nothing at all at the end of the day. And, you got to trust your own bias as well. Because your bias might be, everybody has a different viewpoint at the end of the day. Their bias might be correct or your bias might be correct. It's just kind of how you go about it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so getting the psychology on point is really the thing to start with.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can really learn technical analysis, but not everybody has the right, mindset to, to really trade, on a live account for that matter, trade, large sums of money.
Uh-huh. Okay. Now, since you are a quite successful trader, do you have some friends or relatives that are like asking you about trading about Forex and that you might be like, what is it and how does it work? And do they ask you to teach them how to do it?
Yeah, so my dad always asks me about it, and I actually went out to eat the other day, and I had a shirt on, and some guy came up to me and was like, "Bro, can you teach me how to trade?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I was kind of thrown off guard because I never taught anybody or really, yeah, well, really just taught anybody about Forex, so it was kind of new to me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, the strategy that you're using, the swing trading,
Hmm.
are you planning to keep the same strategy for, as long as it works, just don't change it, don't break it? Is that what you want to do?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, what do you think is the most crucial thing to do for a new trader that is at a point where he's not successful yet? So, you can speak from experience. So, what was the thing that helped you, and what do you think that others should do in order to, shift from losing money, being unsuccessful to finally, you know, become profitable traders?
Well, if like for one, you really got to find, a good mentor that you can learn from, and have a strategy and set because everybody's strategy is different. Like I found myself, trade having different strategies when I first started. I had like three different strategies. And, the one I stick with now is, gonna be the one I'll probably stick with forever. But everybody, not everybody trades the same. So you gotta, find what works for you. You can't do based off of what other people are really, doing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so finding the right mentor who's gonna teach you the basics and the psychological approach, but at the same time, you shouldn't exactly copy, what other traders do, right? So you should,
Yeah.
get educated, but still you should find your thing and really explore and find out what works for you.
Yeah. So like when you first start out, you really should be on a demo account, testing. You could take, like for me, example, I took bits and pieces of what I've learned from other people, kind of shaped into my own thing. I didn't really take exactly like replicate what they did because it didn't work for me. I tried it and never worked.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, Marcus. So thank you for the interview. And are there any last words? Anything that you would like to say to anyone out there watching the interview?
No, I think I'm good.
All right, that's one way to end it, and that's FTMO.